What's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. Let's dive into our first news. New footage has surfaced showing Team Pereira mocking Magomed Ankalaev backstage after UFC 320. The moment came shortly after Pereira's dominant win, and it seems Magomed's pre-fight comments have now come back to haunt him. Before their rematch, Ankalaev boldly claimed that Shama is dead, referring to Pereira's famous war cry. That statement clearly didn't sit well with the Brazilian champ or his team. In a clip shared by ESPN MMA, Team Pereira can be seen chanting Shama toward Ankalaev's corner as they were leaving the arena after the fight. The atmosphere was electric, and Pereira's team made sure their message was heard loud and clear. But the fun didn't stop there. Back at the Teixeira MMA gym, Glover Teixeira and the rest of the team decided to keep the energy alive by reenacting Pereira's stunning finish. Glover gathered everyone and shouted, "What's that drill? Let's go, guys! Alex, overhand here!" The team erupted in laughter as they mimicked Pereira's signature overhand and devastating elbow combination, celebrating their champion's big victory with pride and humor. Before moving to the next news, we have one quick request for you. We are constantly working on improving our content to earn your love and support. That is why we truly appreciate it. If you could take just a moment to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon, so you never miss an update here on MMA Pulse News. Moving on to another news, the UFC may have just signed its next Dagestani superstar. Magomed Zakov has officially earned his UFC contract after an incredible performance on Dana White's Contender Series Tuesday night. Zakov dominated his opponent, Lucas Callis, from start to finish, securing a unanimous decision victory that left the crowd in awe. The numbers alone tell the story. Zakov landed an astonishing 248 of 393 significant strikes, a pace that would have broken the all-time UFC record for most significant strikes landed in a lightweight bout if it had taken place inside the octagon. Now undefeated with a perfect 8-0 record, Zakov trains alongside Khabib and Islam, representing the new wave of elite fighters coming out of Dagestan. His performance showcased not only his striking volume, but also his composure, footwork, and technical precision. Many are already calling him the next Dagestani phenom, a fighter poised to take over the lightweight division much like his mentors did before him. During the DWCS post-fight press conference, Zakov revealed that he received a personal message of congratulations from Khabib right after the fight. "Khabib called me. He was very happy. The whole team is happy," Zakov said with a smile. "I'm going to show beautiful fighting here, and we're all proud that one more fighter will represent the UFC. One more fighter from the Nurmagomedov school is here now." The Dagestani lineage in MMA continues to grow stronger, with each new prospect showing world-class discipline, wrestling, and striking ability. Zakov appears ready to carry that torch and make his mark among the best. Reporters also asked him about his close friend Islam, who is set to compete for the welterweight title. Zakov confirmed that Islam intends to stay at 170 pounds for good, officially leaving the lightweight division behind. He thinks he will not come back to lightweight, Zakov said. He'll stay a champion at 77. This statement further opens the door for Zakov to step into the spotlight and begin his own journey toward UFC gold. With Islam moving up in weight and Khabib retired, many fans believe Zakov could be the next great Dagestani name to dominate the lightweight division. His arrival marks another chapter in the legacy of one of the most respected fight teams in the sport, and the UFC might have just found its next big star. Moving on to another news, Corey Sandhagen still believes he has what it takes to become a UFC champion, even after his recent loss to Merab over the weekend. On Tuesday, Corey shared a heartfelt message with his fans, addressing the defeat and expressing gratitude to those who continue to support him through every step of his journey. "Yo, what's up guys? I just wanted to give a quick thank you to all of you who supported me," Corey began. "The people in my life who are a big deal to me, who really helped me do this thing, thank you." He went on to explain that he rewatched the fight the following night because he couldn't sleep, analyzing every moment of it. "That's an absolutely winnable fight," he said confidently. "I just have to not almost get knocked out in the second round." Corey gave credit to Merab, showing respect for his opponent's performance. "Congrats to Merab for almost doing what he said he was going to do, but not quite," he said with a calm tone. "Good on him. He's a good face for the division. I'm proud of that dude." Despite the setback, Corey made it clear that his belief in himself remains unshaken. "I absolutely still believe in myself and that I'll be champion," he declared. "Believing in yourself is part of the damn job, and I'll never stop thinking that I'm going to touch gold." He ended his message with gratitude and positivity, saying, "Peace. I love you guys. Bye." Even after a tough loss, Corey's mindset shows the heart of a true competitor. one who refuses to give up, no matter how many setbacks come his way. Moving on to another news, Chael Sonnen is fully convinced that Jon Jones will face Alex Pereira in 2026. Following Pereira's massive win at UFC 320, the light heavyweight champion expressed his interest in moving up to heavyweight to face Jones in what could be one of the biggest super fights in UFC history. Pereira mentioned his desire to meet Jones at the UFC White House event next year, sparking excitement and debate across the MMA community. While many have questioned whether the fight could realistically happen without a title on the line, Sonnen believes there's a perfect solution. Speaking on the latest episode of the Good Guy Bad Guy show with Daniel Cormier, the former UFC contender suggested that Jones move back down to 205 pounds to challenge Pereira for the light heavyweight belt. According to Sonnen, that's the best way to make the fight official, meaningful, and historic. "I predicted this for you, Daniel," Sonnen said. "I told you all week, and people looked down on me for it. I said, I don't think we're going to see Jon Jones return against Aspinall. I think we're going to see Jon Jones return against Pereira, and it doesn't matter if Pereira wins or loses. He becomes a heavyweight either way. That fight is just too special for too many reasons." Sonnen explained that Jones isn't the type of fighter who returns for just any matchup. He needs motivation, a reason to come back, a challenge that excites him, and Alex Pereira provides exactly that. Jon Jones isn't just a guy who loves to fight and shows up because he has to. He needs a reason, something that sparks him, Sonnen said. And Alex provides that. He also recalled a moment when he and Daniel Cormier asked Dana White about the possibility of Pereira versus Jones. Dana just said, "Look, size matters. As great as Pereira is, he used to be a middleweight. Have you seen Tom Aspinall? Do you know how big that man is?" Sonnen explained. "But now, we're not talking about Aspinall anymore. We're talking about Jon Jones. And when you look at their sizes, Pereira probably even weighs a couple pounds more than Jones right now." That's when Sonnen dropped what he called his hot take of the day. "If I'm in Jon Jones's shoes, and I hear all this buzz about Pereira, this massive fight, but there's no title on the line, I can fix that real fast. I'll say, I'll fight you. And I'll even find a world title for you, because it's going to be yours. I'll see you at 205 pounds. According to Sonnen, if Jones makes that move, everything changes. The fight suddenly becomes not just a super fight, but a championship clash that could redefine both fighters' legacies. Daniel Cormier reacted in surprise, admitting he hadn't even considered that possibility. The idea of Jon Jones cutting back down to 205 to face Pereira for the title instantly reignited fan discussions online, making this potential matchup one of the most talked about fights of 2026. Moving on to another news, Sean Strickland just got married, and he did it in the most Sean Strickland way possible. The former UFC champion shared a wild clip on his Instagram stories, showing him celebrating his wedding day exactly how fans would expect, with guns, adrenaline, and chaos. In the video, Sean can be seen firing guns into the air and then hopping onto a motorcycle with his bride, speeding off in true Strickland fashion. The clip quickly went viral across social media, with fans joking that no one else could have pulled off a wedding like this. It perfectly captured Sean's unpredictable and fearless personality, raw, unapologetic, and full of energy. There was no fancy venue or over-the-top decorations, just Sean being himself, enjoying the moment in his own unique way. The video had a mix of loud music, laughter, and that signature Sean intensity that fans have come to love. Even on one of the most important days of his life, he managed to turn it into something bold and unforgettable. Congratulations poured in from across the MMA world, as Sean Strickland officially tied the knot, his way. Moving on to another news, Ilia has officially confirmed that his next fight will be against Paddy Pimblett, and he even revealed a few details from his private conversation with Dana White about it. This is the kind of Ilia update fans have been waiting for, not gossip or rumors, but real fight news straight from the source. In a recent appearance on Satanta Sports Georgia, the featherweight champion finally broke his silence on this long-brewing rivalry, giving fans a taste of what's to come. Ilia didn't hold back during the interview. He made it crystal clear why he dislikes Paddy so much, calling this matchup more than just another fight. It's personal. He brought up Paddy's controversial comments about the Georgian tragedy back in 2008, saying those words will never be forgotten. According to Ilia, that insult cut deep, and now it's finally time to settle things where it matters most, inside the octagon. The Georgian star said his anger has been simmering for years, and now it's fueling his preparation for what he believes will be one of the most dominant performances of his career. Ilia also mentioned his recent knockout win over Charles Oliveira, a performance that sent shockwaves through the MMA world. He reminded everyone that he doesn't just talk, he delivers. And this time, he's promising to make the fight with Paddy even more brutal, saying the Englishman won't last long once they face off. His confidence was unshakable, his tone calm but dangerous, as if he already knows how the fight will end. Ilia revealed that when he told Dana White about wanting Paddy next, Dana simply smiled and said, "That's a fight everyone wants to see." The UFC president seemed fully on board, and now, negotiations are reportedly underway to finalize the date and venue. Rumors suggest it could take place in London or Madrid, making it one of the biggest international fights of the year. For Ilia, this isn't just about defending his reputation, it's about pride, heritage, and payback. He ended his statement by saying he's ready to shut Paddy up once and for all, and prove that his rise to the top was no fluke. The fire is lit, the rivalry is real, and Ilia looks more focused than ever. Moving on to another news, Conor has officially accepted an 18-month suspension under the UFC's anti-doping policy. The decision comes after he reportedly failed to provide accurate whereabouts information on 3 separate occasions throughout 2024, a violation that falls under USADA's strict regulations. As a result, Conor won't be eligible to compete until March 20th, 2026. Originally, the penalty was set for 24 months, but officials decided to reduce it to 18 after considering that Conor was still recovering from injury and not actively preparing for any scheduled bout during that period. Reports suggest the Irish superstar fully cooperated with the investigation, taking responsibility for the situation and providing detailed explanations that helped clarify how the missed tests occurred. Despite the setback, this suspension doesn't necessarily end his fighting plans. In fact, it still leaves the door open for Conor to make his highly anticipated return on the UFC White House card in July 2026, a card he's been heavily hinting at for months. One interesting twist in all of this is Conor's repeated claim that his fight with Chandler was already signed and confirmed. However, given the UFC's standard operating procedures, that seems highly unlikely. The organization rarely sends out bout agreements that far in advance, especially when a fighter's eligibility is still in question. Still, fans know Conor well. He thrives on buzz, headlines, and drama, and this situation has once again put him right at the center of it. Chael Sonnen recently broke down the entire situation, offering a detailed explanation of what this type of suspension really means. He explained that under the anti-doping policy, fighters are required to submit their whereabouts 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It's a rule designed to allow random testing at any moment. For most athletes, Sonnen said, it's not too complicated. They can list their home or gym, and if they're not there, they're usually easy to locate. But for someone like Conor, who travels frequently, attends events around the world, and lives a lifestyle far different from a typical athlete, it becomes extremely difficult to manage. Sonnen added that while it may sound simple, failing to update your whereabouts 3 times within a 12-month period counts as a major violation, equivalent to testing positive for a banned substance. He also mentioned that Conor's hectic schedule and constant movement probably played a big part in these missed checks. Despite that, the reduced suspension shows that his cooperation worked in his favor. So, while Conor's return has been delayed yet again, his story inside the octagon is far from over. If everything goes according to plan, the former 2-division champion could make his long-awaited comeback in mid-2026, possibly headlining one of the biggest cards in UFC history. Moving on to another news, Arman has revealed his game plan for his upcoming fight against Dan Hooker. In a recent appearance on the Ariel Helwani show, the #1 lightweight contender made it very clear what his strategy will be when he steps into the octagon. Arman said he plans to rely on his wrestling and use it relentlessly for the full 25 minutes. Tell him to train how to defend wrestling, Arman said with a confident smile. Because I'm just going to wrestle 25 minutes. Ariel responded by reminding him that just moments earlier, Arman had mentioned the possibility of a quick knockout. Laughing, Arman clarified that while anything can happen inside the cage, his primary goal is to dominate with his grappling. You never know, you know, he said. I'll be tricky. Show wrestling. Mix in the striking. Keep him guessing. But he's got to think about just wrestling. Known for his explosive takedowns and relentless pace, Arman's plan doesn't come as a surprise to most fans. His wrestling has been one of the most effective weapons in the lightweight division, and against a striker like Hooker, it's clear that Arman intends to use that advantage to full effect. The fight is set to take place in Qatar, and Arman seems focused not only on winning, but on making a statement. He went on to say that after defeating Hooker, his next move will be to call out Ilia for a title fight early next year. "I'm not thinking who's going to fight in January or February with Ilia," Arman explained. "But in my head, I'm going to make a good statement in Qatar, call out Ilia, and fight for the title at the beginning of next year." This shows just how confident and determined Arman is about his path to UFC gold. He's not just focused on Hooker, he's already planning for the title shot that could define his career. The Dagestani-born powerhouse believes that his time is now, and with his skills, work ethic, and drive, a win over Hooker could set the stage for one of the most exciting title fights in 2026.
That's it from MMA Pulse News. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for daily MMA news.